Alright. Welcome to another one about my Stump's World of Tanks console bullshit and issues videos. Is that what I chose here? Bullshit and issue? No, I chose random farts. It's really not a bullshit and issue, I guess. It's the nature of the game. I did a video a little while ago, the state of the game, and you're probably going to hear a lot of the same things in this video. However, it's just me ranting. I have 3 videos here that are all, you know, it ain't 10 minutes worth of videos total, I don't think, and it's 3 separate games. So, the first, not the first 2, but 2 of them are kind of lower tier. So, you know, the 4 or 5 minute games are expected. However, one of the videos here is tier 9, and it's like 5 minutes long total. So, you know, that's kind of... The game is slowly evolved into something that I think what the developers want, which they want games to get over quick. They want you to just pound through stuff to make it frustrating. If they make it harder for you to move on, to grind a line, you are either going to play more to do it, to get it done, or you're going to spend money on boosters to help get it done quicker, or you just play a lot more quick games because, hey, that's just how the game is. And I started playing this game because it was a seriously cool game at the time. A lot less tanks, so you know, you got to take that into mind. A lot less amount of vehicles to take into consideration when they're balancing it and whatnot. However, the whole deal with most games, not all games, I'm not saying that all games did this or not, but typically 9 or 10 minutes was the game length. I mean, that was probably close to average. Probably 7.5 to 8 minutes was average. Ballpark figure. And there was a lot of players that played really well. There wasn't, you know, there's 3 light tanks right there. Of course, we're at low tier, so you're going to get more light tanks. But I wonder if that has anything to do with why there's so many light tanks at higher tiers, because that's what people learn to play. I don't know. I've never been I don't find the fun in just running around in circles shooting tanks in the ass. That's just not fun to me. Every once in a while, just go out and just blast tanks, run around them and circle them and everything. Yeah, okay, that's cool. But for the most part, I would much rather have a tank, hunker down behind a hill, use my armor, wiggle the turret a little bit, and bounce shells and finish off tanks. Actual have a tank battle. This is more nowadays like just run and gun, shoot them up, whoever can get the most shots off. But we're going to do a little bit of shake and bake here. He's thinking they want to go left. Guess what? I didn't go left. I think he probably gave up. He was getting surrounded by 2 tanks. You know, we're what, 3 minutes into the game now, and the game is in jeopardy of being over quick now as it is. It won't last that much longer. We do have a few tanks coming up the 8-9 area. They're going to go up the 9 line into our base. So I'm zoot scooting back that way. But I still have some tanks that I haven't finished off, that I haven't gotten through. I haven't ground all the XP on them. And I'm not one of those people that need to mark every one of my tanks. I don't care. This doesn't do it for me. But I do like to at least elite every tank. That's good enough for me. Elite and ace. That's all I care about. The marks of excellence. I don't play the game enough to get them. So, 3 tanks left. Ooh, 81 there. Gotta hustle around him. He's just like, fuck it. His game's over, so he don't care. This is all free pinata XP for me. I mean, there's a bunch of my game right there that I didn't deserve that. Oh, pooched that one. We won't pooch there. He gets finished off. We got a Churchill, 3 left. Start raining the shade on him at 74 shots, 74 damage a shell. 84, 74, 84, 80, 82. Do I finish him off right here? Yep, I do. So, there's that game. We're 5 minutes. And that doesn't take into account the first minute it takes to get into position. You've got to keep that in mind when you look at these 5-minute games. This game was actually only 4 minutes of action. Is that where you want to be every time you play this game? Not me. I mean, I don't mind it so much at lower tiers, you know, tier 3, even when 1 and 2 was there. I'm going to say 1 and 2 because they should still be in the game. But tiers like 1 through 4-ish, you know, if you have 4-minute games in that ballpark, that's not absolutely horrible. But once you get into tier 5, 6, and 7, the game should play out more like you know, regular games where you could lose a little bit of strategy to get by stuff. That game right there, I ended up with 1,500 damage because of that AT2 that just sat there and, you know, let me pop him off shot after shot. But I look at games like that, and I'm going to jump into this one. This one is a tier 9 game. We're in the E50. We're on Pilsen. And you're going to see this one right here is another game that's, I think, a total of 5 minutes. 5 minutes and 40 seconds with everything. With me watching the stats and everything else. So it's like a 5-minute game at tier 9. So, you know, when you talk about the lower tiers, that's okay. I don't really mind the lower tiers being quick. I don't mind it as much. How's that? I would rather have 12, 13-minute games. Every game I play, I would much rather have it a technical game that ends up taking 10 or 15 minutes. I would rather put in an hour, 3 or 4, you know, put in 4 games an hour and have really good games. Ooh, 324 right there into that bad boy. Then have 10 games in an hour. And they're all 5-minute games, you know. I don't understand why the developers have it set up this way. I don't know if they're doing it on purpose or if it's just kind of out of their control because they've screwed the game up so much with so many weird tanks that, you know, as it is right now, they just can't fix it. This is what you get right now. But you're going to see right now, we're only a minute into the game, give or take here, a minute and 15 seconds. The teams are pretty even. They were exactly even. You know, we each lost 1 tank, whatever. And this is now, like I said, a minute and a half into the game. I should have had him. That was a bad shot on my part. And then all of a sudden, within 2 minutes here, you watch, next 2.5 minutes, the orange team's going to lose every one of their fucking tanks. It's going to be like boom, 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 boom. And I don't understand. I still don't understand, and I'm not sure if I don't believe or if I have the beliefs. Goodbye, you are the weakest link. That I've said this in many videos, from the get-go, Team A or B is meant to win the game. And I think that's where the problem comes from. If one team has, I'm just throwing numbers out there, these are just stupid numbers I'm just grabbing out of thin air, but let's say one team had a 60% penetration ratio overall on their shots, and the other team had a 40% penetration rate. I'm going by team. Okay, that shouldn't have gone. My shot shouldn't have gone right there. That was just a quick auto lock, boom. But let's say one team had 60% of their shots go, and the other team only 40% of their shots go. What would happen? You would find that the game would be lopsided all the time. Correct? I mean, that's pretty much the truth. It would be lopsided. And we have so many lopsided games that makes me think that supports that idea. Like right now, boom, they're already down by 5 tanks. Just within a minute. They're going to be 6 here in a second. You know, it's like, there you go, there's 6. And here we go. Here's another one. There's another one. It's just like boom, 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 boom. They're just all losing all their tanks. Now, you would say, well, you know, there's just so much better players on one team. Maybe. Maybe the matchmaker just, it doesn't take into consideration the players. I know that. And maybe it just randomly always puts one team so much better than the other. That's a possibility, I guess. But I find it hard to believe with all the technical ingenuity this company has that they don't have this figured out. Right now, they are running the not multiplayer, but the co-op stuff. Do you know why they're running the co-op stuff? They are teaching, they are programming. Every game in co-op that is played is recorded. Now, I'm not saying visually recorded, but the algorithm, whatever, it picks everything up. That was a bullshit shot. Everything is picked up. Everything is recorded. Everything is, every way every tank goes is tracked. So they can make their bots better. That's why they're doing it. Think about it. They're using us to make their bot play better by recording what we do. If you play multiplayer, not multiplayer, co-op right now, you will realize that when they first started doing the co-op, I had to change videos, I'm sorry. But when they first started doing the co-op, there were certain routes that all the AI took. I mean, not every time, but there was routes that the AI seemed to always go. And they would, you know that, hey, there'd be 3 AI over the spot every time you're on this map. That's not the case now. The AI pans out much different now. The AI goes to different spots. They go complete different routes, and that's because they're using the data that they collect from live games, live versus bots. They're using the live player data to program their bots, which is smart. I mean, if you think about it, when you first played, let's say, the first couple months of multiplayer, you had 3 maps. You started in 2 or 3 locations on each map. And then all of a sudden, you started on the other side of that map. 3 months and 2.5 months into the co-op stuff. Now, every game you played, you started on the other side of it. Now, a couple months later, now you start random places. They've taken all the data they could collect from us as live players against their bots, and they've reprogrammed the bots to be better. I believe that 100%. And that makes me wonder if they're planning on this game just pretty much being, you know, humans versus bots. Doesn't matter, you know, who you put in there, what you put in there. It's just, I'm wondering if they're trying to do this to try to keep the game alive because they're worried that, you know, all the shit they've done to it has made it so uneven and so unfair and so just dumb that they're losing players so often. They want to keep the game going. And the only way they can do it now is they're going to have to put bots in live games. I mean that's, I fully believe that, but hey, again, that's off the topic, I guess. This is kind of just a rambling video. It is part of State of the Game, it is. You know, this video is kind of like a State of the Game video, you know, what I think. And that's part of it, I guess. I'm going to come around this corner, and look at all these tanks over here. Do you think that 4 tanks over here, someone should have been able to do some damage to me? Now, I know there's 2 of us, but me and this other guy are just raping everyone. And then we're going to come around and start raping these guys. I'm going to rape the artillery, too. Look how quick this team died. Now, is it that the other team was full of a bunch of complete idiots? Possibly. Possibly. Or did our team just have a better chance of everything penetrating? Auto locks everything. Look at this. Just, they're down to 1 tank. Just this game, with the beginning, lasted 3 minutes and 30 seconds. It takes 40 seconds to get into play. So you're talking a 2.5 minute game. 2.5 minute game. Maybe a little bit longer than that, but not much. what do you all think of the state of the game? What do y'all think of how Wargaming North America or Wargaming Console, whatever it is now that's running this shit show, what do y'all think about what they're doing to the game? Any of you players that are new to the game, you probably like it, because like I said, if you just played from day one, if your day one was 6 months ago or even a year ago, this is all you know of the game. You don't know how it used to be. But if you're one of the players that have been around 5-6 years, what do you think? Do you like the way it is now? Do you like the 2.5-minute games, the 3-minute games, the 4.5-minute games at Tier 9? A game should never last 4.5 minutes at Tier 9. It should never, ever, not never, but almost never happen.